Is there a problem? The statistics tell us that, though. The results tell us that there's a massive problem with English language in schools in Nigeria. The massive failure rate. What is the problem? What do you think about that?
Well, I think the results in English is poor because students basically have this fear of English. They think English is one gigantic subject that they can't attempt, and they fear English textbooks like they'll fear masquerade. Sometimes they just open English textbook, this is going to be very boring. They close it, find something else to do, and then that's the end of it. And then students, their rates of failure in English, it's alarming. Something has to be done about it.
Well, yeah, I don't think teenagers are poor in writing.
You don't think so?
No, because in my school, we I don't really think they fail English language because I've not seen anyone that failed. That is in my school. I don't know about other schools.
Okay.
So I don't think it's poor language.
Tell me, how about you? Do you share the same opinion?
What I think about the massive failure of English
So you believe there's a massive failure?
is simply lack of preparation. Because to me, English is one of the best subjects because it's so simple. Even what you see in the WAEC is in your English textbook. You see comprehension, you see summary, you see essay, you see like they can give you at the end of a comprehension question. What you see there is they'll list like 7 words, then ask you to write another word that can be used to replace that word as used in the passage. So I think it's because of lack of preparation. Most students in Nigeria now rely on expo, that someone is bringing dubs for us or something like that. But I believe if you prepare well, there's no limits to where you can reach.
Let us try and put my discussion with the students and Omisore's book within a proper context. Here are a few facts about the academic performances of Nigerian secondary school students. About 70% of the candidates who sat for the 2014 November-December West African Senior School Certificate Examination failed to make 5 credits, mathematics and English language inclusive. I hope you didn't miss that. 70%. About 62% of the candidates who sat for the 2015 May-June West African Senior School Certificate Examination failed to make 5 credits, mathematics and English language inclusive. These are obvious reasons why Michael wrote his book, but I asked him anyway, and I also asked him to share his observations on the primary challenges Nigerian teenagers have when it comes to writing.
Last year when the WAEC results came out and we learned that 62% of the students actually failed, that was alarming to me because that is almost like 2/3 of the students that sat for the exam. I wrote an article in the Punch then, why students fail exam, and I came up with 5 subtle reasons why these students fail exam. So if I can just quickly share it. One is that they don't follow the exam patterns. Examiners are not how to fail students. Examiners just want to examine the student, whether they know what they are being taught or not. So there is already a pattern. Year in, year out, it really changes. There is a pattern of certain questions that if these students can actually take seriously, they will be able to pass their exams and all of that. So that's one. Number 2 reason is that they don't read wide enough. They don't read wide enough. You just don't read about your notebook alone. You don't read your textbook alone. You read beyond the scope of your syllabus. You read beyond the scope of your what your school is offering. So if you read, like she said, she reads motivational books, fictions, and all of that. Because when I was their age, we were reading a lot of novels back then and all of that, and that has helped us. It helped us vocabulary-wise and all of that. So they're not reading wide enough. They are not even reading deep enough.
That's the third one.
That's the third one. They are not even reading deep enough. because a student may just be satisfied with what the teacher is offering him in the class. Is satisfied with the notebook alone. That's not enough. So they're not reading deep enough. The fourth one is that they don't know how to interpret questions rightly. Some questions come with some twist, and when you don't get that twist, you miss it. So they don't know how to interpret questions rightly. But the fifth one is even the one that I think is the one that is really affecting them the most, which is that they don't know how to articulate their answers very well. It's
Does that
actually
come down to writing? Are you saying they don't know how to write?
They don't know how to write well.
Very well.
They don't know how to articulate their answers well. So they don't know how to write well. So you see examiners marking script, and one script is just giving him a headache, trying to figure out what the student is trying to say and all of that. The expression, incoherence and all of that, even bad grammar and all of that. So how will an examiner give you a good mark when you're not even expressing yourself very well? And that is one of the things that this book covers.
That's one of the reasons you wrote this book.
That's one of the reasons.
Help with it.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
When students actually fail English, they fail the summary, comprehension, and essay part of English. And those are the three basic, structures.
Those are the most problematic areas for
aspects.
students.
Comprehension is very easy. You read the storyline, you understand everything, and you answer the questions that follow. But then, students actually don't comprehend what they read. So they usually go off points from the questions asked. Summary is also about comprehension. It's also about comprehending and to be able to actually summarize, to actually give a brief explanation of what you've read. And lastly, the essay part of it is because students actually don't read deep enough. And so when I read books, I basically look at how the author expresses himself. Like some authors express themselves in past, some in present, others in future. So it depends on how you want to write that particular essay.
So it sounds to me like reading and writing are inseparable. I mean, from what he said, from this book, from what you guys are saying, reading and writing are inseparable. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that. Because like the comprehension passages and summary and essay letters and all of that, before you can answer any question, you need to go through it. That is, you need to read it to and fro. You need to understand what the passage is talking about. And when you're reading those passages or when you're answering your essay, you need to give it your full concentration. Because that was affecting most students, and it has one affected me. Because if you don't give it your full concentration, you will end up diverting the topic of the essay to another topic. So that is really affecting students. So I think reading and writing, they are together. You cannot separate them.